Okay, today I want to talk about what's called dimensional analysis, and hopefully I can get this to cooperate with me. Dimensional analysis. Now, dimensional analysis is nothing more than a way for us to get from one set of units to another set of units. It's very important in chemistry. So I have over here, I have written some units and the relationships between them. So 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters, 1 mile, 1,609 meters, 100 centimeters is 1 meter, 5,280 feet is 1 mile. So let's do some easy conversions. Let's say, for example, I have 375 centimeters, and I want to find out how many meters that is equal to that. Now what I do is I draw a bar like this, and this basically gives us, it's like a spreadsheet really, it gives us two cells here, one that represents a numerator and one that represents a denominator. So if I want to go from centimeters to meters, I look for a conversion factor that relates those two quantities. And I want to get rid of the centimeters, so I have to put 100 centimeters on the bottom and 1 meter on top. And this will enable us to calculate a very easy conversion. I multiply across the top 375 times 1, and then I divide through by the bottom, so 100 centimeters. So this is just a fraction. So the units of centimeters will cancel, and we will have 3.75 meters. And that's my answer. I just converted from centimeters to meters. Let's do let me show you another way to write it. If you don't like writing it this way, you could say 375 centimeters times 1 meter over 100 centimeters. It means the same thing. The centimeters cancel, and it would just be 3.75 meters. So very easy to do, and either way is fine. I like to use this method because when we do long calculations, it enables you to keep everything in line. So let's go ahead and talk about something that uses some more of these things up here. Let's say I'm running in a 5K. I have a 5K, and I'm going to run in it. And I want to know how many feet in a 5K race. So how many Actually, let's do this. How many inches are you going to run in a 5K race? How many inches? And you might think, well, that's a crazy question, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. Let me get rid of this little line here. So the way we do this, well, first of all, you have to know what a 5K is. 5K stands for 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. And 5 kilometers, a kilometer, K, that should actually be a lowercase k, that's 1,000 meters. So the first thing I do is I want to get this to meters. So let's put the kilometers on the bottom. 1 km is 1,000 meters. Okay, so that's a good way to start. Our kilometers will cancel, and we'll get 5,000 meters. 5,000 meters. And that's how many meters there are in a 5K. You should be able to do that in your head. All right, now let's go ahead and let's erase some stuff here and say, well, what's our next step? Well, our next step, if I've got 5,000 meters, why don't I go to miles? Okay, again, I'm going kind of the long way around here. And let me see if I can get this down again. Notice our conversion factors. We've got 1 mile is 1,609 meters. So I've got 5,000 meters. And I want to get to miles. So I'm going to put meters on the bottom. 1,609 meters is 1 mile. And I'm not going to do that in my head. I'm going to do it divided by 1,609. That's going to be, now let's take a look at significant figures. We can assume that 5K is 5,000 meters. So I'm going to put a decimal point right there. And I'm going to assume that we're measuring that to 4 significant figures for the sake of our discussion today. So when I report the answer, it would be 3.108 miles. 3.108 miles. So we went from kilometers to meters. Now we're going to go from meters. Remember, our meters cancel, and we'll be left with miles. I could write it out here. And at that point, we're in a position to go from miles to something else. And let's see if I can get rid of this here and delete it. Very good. I'll get rid of that too. So let's start down here. I said I wanted to go to inches. So I'm going to show you something fun. I can keep carrying this calculation out. So 3.108 miles. Now let's keep going. I know that in every 1 mile, I have 5,280 feet. Okay. And if I stopped right there, I would be left with the number of feet in a 5K. Okay. Remember, we're interested in a 5K race. And I want to keep going, though. I want to get inches. So I can go one more step. And I could say, well, in 1 foot, there are 12 inches. And my feet would cancel. And I would be left with the unit of inches. And I just have to multiply across the top. And when I do that, I'm going to, now conversion factors are considered to be exact quantities. So we don't count them in significant figure calculations. We only count the measured quantities and the result of the calculations from measured quantities. So I'm going to multiply 3.108 times 5,280 times 12. And that will give me, I'm going to write out every digit on the calculator, 196922.88 inches. Now, we don't know all of these digits. We're not allowed to report all of them. We can only base our calculation on the number of significant figures in our original measured quantity. So that's 4 significant figures. So I'm going to start here. Let me get a different color pen. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next digit is a 2. So I'm going to write down 196,900 inches. And that's 4 significant figures. These zeros are placeholders. And that's how you do conversion factors from one unit to another. So we'll take a look at some more of these. I'm also going to post something from the online textbook that you should read. And that will be your assignment for the next day or two. Look over the video, look over the worksheet that's online, and the sections in the online textbook, which, by the way, is right here. It's the mathematical treatment of measurement results. You're going to want to look at that. And this goes into a little bit more depth and some more examples. And it has some nice data tables and or not data tables, but conversion tables, like this one here, table 1.6, has a bunch of different things, and you're not going to have to memorize these. Eventually, you'll learn some of them. And then go ahead also and just read the section on temperature units. It's kind of interesting because we don't really speak in Fahrenheit here in chemistry. We speak in Celsius or centigrade and Kelvin. So you're going to be want to be used to that. So I'll post this as well as the discussion on conversion factors. So have a good one.